Welcome back, people. Fat Bloonskis coming at you next with another bleeding edge discussion video. This time around, I'm bringing you guys a tier list because I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit recently and on the bleeding edge forums. People are talking about tier lists and stuff, so I figured I might chime in and just put my 2 cents in. I think it's fun and it's interesting, and I think I see a lot of different opinions and stuff, and I think it's really interesting why people put certain heroes where and stuff. So I just want to put my ideas out there and let me know what you guys think about it. So the way this is going to work is, of course, you can see there's S, A, B, C, and D tier, but I'm going to put them in order. It doesn't mean that necessarily, like if I was to put, I don't know, Damon in S tier, that doesn't mean that he's the best hero in the game. I just think that he is better than the other DPS in that category, if you understand what I'm saying. So let me just go ahead and I'll explain it as I go along. So my first character I'm going to put in S tier is going to be Nidhogger. I think Nidhogger is by far the best DPS. He has good burst damage, he has damage over time with his fire abilities, he has a high health pool, he has lifesteal, and he has a stun with his Boomatar. He has good ults, he has Death Growl, which can silence people, and he has Ride of Lightning, which will stun people, keep him in place. So all around, I think he's probably the best DPS. If I wanted any DPS hero on my team, it would be Nidhogger. So my next hero for the S tier is Maeve. Obviously, Maeve is crazy strong. The fact that she can reset her abilities on cooldown is crazy. Someone who's really skilled with that can just keep chaining the bird cage, keep chaining that, and crowd control people. She also has a siphon ability, which will allow her to get lifesteal. So she's pretty survivable, and she has her escape ability, which makes her invisible and invulnerable, and she gets a movement speed buff. She has a lot of range as well, so she can just stay on the outside and just poke and do a lot of damage from far away. At the same time, she can crowd control. So all around, again, another DPS I would like to see on my team. My next hero, Miko. Miko, she offers healing and she offers utility for the team as well as protection. She has it's a heal ability. I think it's on a 6-second cooldown, as well as she can heal just by hitting people with her staff. She also has the shield, which if you put the right mods can actually be pretty tanky. She can stop healing, she can stop projectiles and stuff. It's really good for like turning in cells for the power collection mode. And she has her stasis ability, which is her freeze, which is really good crowd control ability. It can shut down ults, it can shut down any ability, like if Bastardo is doing his death spiral, it can shut that down. And all around, and she's pretty survivable. She can survive on her own, you don't have to watch over her, which is why I really like Miko. Like if there was one healer I want on my team, it's Miko. I think she's the best healer by far. And then the next hero I have on my list is Mekko. Mekko just came into the game. Mekko is insanely strong. With the right mod setup, he can almost be like unstoppable. He can put down his little safety zone, which will give you lifesteal, and if you use a power orb, it'll also cut the healing in half for anybody standing in it, like any enemy standing inside. He also have the safety line, which will negate damage, which is like the only tank ability or any ability that the tanks have that'll actually negate damage for your teammates, which is really strong. So if you put the lifeline on a 0 cool and he's getting hit, he's not gonna take that much damage, and then if he starts getting stunned out and stunned away, you can just yank him in. And then if you use a power orb, you gives him a shield. So he's really good, and he has range capabilities. And then his ultimate, his 2 ultimates, he has exclusion bubble, which I think is his best one. You can literally just remove somebody from the fight. Now when there's a team fight going on and one of the teams has a 4-on-3 advantage, you're gonna win. So the fact that you can just exclude somebody from a fight for quite a long time actually is super powerful. As well as his I think it's called Sonic Barrage ultimate, which is really good because you can again just push people away, and it does a lot of damage. If you put the right mods, it can do even more damage. So honestly, I think if you were just to have this team comp right here, you would do really well. This is probably, if I had to say, probably the most meta team comp right here. Alright, let's move down to A tier. So my first hero for A tier, I'm going to put Buttercup right there. Now I don't really play Buttercup that well. I don't play her at all really. But I've been in some games, and the Buttercup has just completely taken over with her oil slick and that movement speed. I think it's like debuff. It's just crazy how slow you move. She has a lot of AOE attacks, and she doesn't get stun locked when she's attacking. So she has her boost. She goes really fast. So she's pretty survivable. She has the largest health pool out of all the tanks, like base health pool. She's really good. Someone who's really good with her can dominate. All right, let's go with Gizmo. Gizmo is almost the same thing as Maeve, although I think Maeve does what Gizmo does better. She has the turrets, which is really good. She has her grenade, which is almost like a crowd control, it sucks people in, and it stops abilities. The only thing is she doesn't have lifesteal, which is what Maeve has. So if you can pin her down, Maeve, Buttercup, I'm sorry, Jesus, Gizmo can get she can get killed pretty easily. But it's if you can pin her down. She also has that little it's like a jump pad thing she can put down, and her teammates can use it as well. So if she's like near a high ground, she puts that down, she can escape. So the only thing is pinning her down. Alright, my next hero in A tier is Zero Cool. Again, I don't really play Zero Cool that much, but I have been in games where the Zero Cool is so annoying. You can't pin him down. His wall is really good. His jump, he can jump up to the high ground and stuff, and his heal beam kind of has some range. The only thing that Zero Cool suffer from is he has no way to protect himself. You really have to watch over Zero Cool a lot, which is what the tanks will do. But if there's a big team fight and there's a lot of stuff going on, it's kind of hard to always keep track of where the Zero Cool is, especially if he's jumping around all over the place and dodging around, which is the only reason why I would rather have Miko on my team. It's just that you don't really have to watch over Miko like you have to watch over Zero Cool. Alright, let's move down to B tier. So my first hero for B tier, I'm going to put Bastardo there. I personally, Bastardo is my favorite tank to play, but the only thing he suffers from is he doesn't have any way to protect his teammates or slow down the enemy. But he is super tanky and he does a lot of damage for a tank hero. So once you get going and you get the shields up and you get the uninterruptible stance, you can just keep swinging and nothing's gonna stop you. I think one of my games I got up to like 1300 shields or 1300 health total. That's including the shields and his health. So you can, like, with all that health, you're pretty tanky. And he has a stun, which is pretty good, and his ultimate, the overload ultimate, you can actually do some damage. If you do that and combo that with a death spiral, you can actually do some pretty good damage right there. So I really like Bastardo, me personally, but I would still think that Buttercup and Mekko are better than him. So my next hero, I'm gonna put Makutu right here. Now the reason Makutu is down here in B tier, which again I think Makutu is really good, but his overall complexity kind of brings him down. He's kind of hard. Like, you can pick him up and then you play with him, but you don't, like, if you don't know how to switch between his aura stance and the speed stance, you're gonna get dominated. And if you don't know when to use his repellent ability, you're gonna get messed up. His ultimates aren't really that good. He has the ball roll, I forget what it's called, where you can push people around, which is okay. But then the other one, which is the invulnerable, I mean, Bastardo has the same thing. It's not really that unique and it doesn't really do anything crazy. His damage is okay. I mean, he has some pretty nice combos, but it's nothing like substantial. Like if you're 1v1ing a Makutu, which I don't know when you would be, but he's not really a threat when it comes to damage. He can just absorb a lot of damage, which is why I have him in B tier. Alright, so my next hero, and this is going to be kind of a surprise for a lot of people, I have Cass here. Now, a lot of the tier lists I've seen, they've had Cass in D tier or C tier, but I honestly don't think she's that bad. I just think she requires a certain kind of playstyle, and if you can master that playstyle, she can be really effective. She's like a ranged assassin. You gotta stay outside and only dodge in when you can get the kill. You can't play her like you'd play a Nidhogger or a Damon or something like that. She has really good poke ability, and she has the highest mobility out of anybody in the game, which is why she's in B tier. The only downfall is if you can pin her down, she's really squishy. But that's the thing, if you can pin her down. She has so many mobility abilities where it's almost impossible to stop her, or to pin her down rather. Alright, my last hero in B tier is going to be Kulev. Again, Kulev, the only thing he suffers from is he doesn't have burst healing like Zero Cool and Miko do. His healing is really slow, it's really passive. The only thing I do like about him, well, the two things I like about him is his shield ability. It's really strong, like you can actually save a lot of people with that, and the curse. The curse ability is so good. If you guys can coordinate when, like if I put a curse target, curse thing, boon, whatever, on Miko and everybody focuses on Miko, she can get melted extremely quick. Maybe she's not the best example, but let's say like a Zero Cool or something. They can get melted extremely quick. So that curse ability is really good. His ultimates, they're okay. He has the enhanced, or I forget what it's called. I think it's called like, actually I don't remember what it's called at all. But the enhanced ability ultimate is pretty good, and then his bamboozle, if you're near like an environment or hazard, it can be really good. But otherwise, they're kind of lackluster. But just the fact that he's survivable, he can make his teammates survivable, and his healing's overall like kind of passive. That's why he's in B tier. All right, my last hero, which I think he is the weakest hero in the game, Unfortunately, it is Damon. I have him in C tier. I don't have him in D tier because I think he still has really high burst damage. If you can stack the right mods with the death mark with the shadow strike or shift strike, yeah, you can do like half someone's health bar. But the only thing is he can get like parried out of a lot of his basic attack combos, which is not good. And also his stealth, like, I don't know, like he kind of like Nidhogger does what he can do better. And same thing with Cass, and same thing with Maeve, and like all the DPS do better than what Damon can do. Like there's nothing really good about him. The only thing is his shurikens can slow people down, but that's really it. He only has the burst damage every like whenever, I think it's like 12-second cooldown. And other than that, like he's pretty weak. He's the weakest hero in my opinion, or weakest DPS rather. But there you guys have it. There's my tier list. If you guys want to take a look at that, it's my overall tier list. I think it's a pretty good one. I don't think there's any D tier heroes. I think all the heroes are pretty good if you can master them and know like some of the tech and stuff with them. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that this is the tier list, like you should do this. Don't let this deter you. If you love playing Damon, then go ahead and play Damon. If you love playing Cass, go ahead and play him and master them. Just don't let any of the tier lists sway you from what you like to play. Always play what you want to play, because if you're having fun, you're gonna do your best, and I stand by that. Always have fun. This is a game, and games are meant to have fun, so do what you want. But if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. It truly helps me out a lot. You can also check out some of my other videos. Links are in the description below. I have some really fun builds in there and some fun matches, so go ahead and check all that out. And you might as well follow my social media, Twitter and Instagram, both at Fat_Bloonskis. I post some of my videos, go live on there, so go ahead and check all that out. But with all that being said, deuces.